I think I'm going to keep a little series like this going for right now as I begin to prep out this class, because listening to some of the very few commenters that I have on these videos so far, it seems like everyone's still trying to figure themselves out, and maybe a little bit of humility from my end in showing that I'm just trying to think of good ideas as I go and build in a new environment might hopefully lend some comfort and some clarity to somebody who's struggling on their end as well. Morning. So, couldn't sleep tonight, or last night, I guess. I'm having a lot of trouble thinking about what the next semester is going to look like. Obviously, there's a lot of changes, but this is also going to be my first time working as a full-time instructor, and I have a number of two different colleges that I'll be working with, and they each have coordinators that are giving suggestions for how to operate the classroom, or who have strong opinions about how they want to run the classroom, or who have mandates of how they would like to run the classroom. But the one that I'm having the most difficulty with right now is a college algebra class that is going to be essentially a guided independent study. So the direction so far has been to use an online textbook and to walk or instruct the students on which sections to read at a certain time in order to perform given online homework assignments, check their computational knowledge, and then be able to prepare themselves well for end of unit tests and eventually a final exam. My concern with such a approach is that if you are in college algebra, it is likely that you are there because traditional teaching methods were not effective for you. Now, there could be other reasons as well, such as life circumstances that occurred during high school, or a disconnection between you and the teacher, family troubles, etc. But more than likely, in my experience, the student is taking college algebra just didn't resonate with this individual. And I think that problem is going to be exacerbated as you consider the effects of the pandemic. Now, what I would like to do is develop materials that would go along a guided exploration and promote discovery-based learning. I'm a big fan of Flipgrid, and I've seen an instructor. I'll try to find her information and post it up here because she deserves a shout out. But she was the one who showed me how you could use Flipgrid, which is an online free add-on for slide decks such as PowerPoint or Google Slides, and you can make formative assessments or interactive features periodically throughout the material. And then you could also real-time reference websites within such a slide deck, so you could incorporate another tool which is called Flipgrid, which is a mini video discussion board in which students could then practice saying their knowledge out loud. And so you get a combination of all these different tools and some gamified spaced repetition modules like Gimkit, which would help students to study. And I'd like to incorporate all this in, but it takes so long to develop that I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to do it while I'm trying to teach 6 different sections of a total of 4 different class materials. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I think that for right now, I'm going to do a little bit of both. Right? ¿Por qué no los dos? Why don't we try, instead of trying to do all of the slide decks for every single class and reading the book for every single class, let's try to do a little bit of each. So since it's a class that would traditionally meet 3 days a week, but is being run in an asynchronous format, I think I'm going to run it where I try to develop these slide decks that can provide a little bit more of the conceptual backing. I can reference some of my favorite TED Talks. I can do some videos like I'm doing here, throw them in, make them nice, do some good editing, and really try to engage students on a personal level. I can include in there some of the spaced repetition practice to begin off the slide decks, and then I can end it with an opportunity for them to practice having a discussion board kind of feature where they can start putting their own language to the mathematics. I think that will really help. And then for the other 2 days, I'm thinking that instead of giving them an ebook and asking them to just simply read it and copy down, because these students may also still be developing their soft skills such as note taking, maybe I will read through that book with them in real time so that they can listen to me via a YouTube video on a separate tab while reading through the book themselves. So it's almost like you've got an audio book, but you have a commentary that is helping to focus you to the important aspects of the material, right? Which examples are really noteworthy and why? Do you need to write down the introduction that is mostly focused on application, engagement, and entertainment, or can you simply focus on vocabulary, and then do you copy the example? Do you copy the example and then add some notes of your own to the side? I think these are all challenges for students who haven't developed good note-taking skills or good reading skills, essentially good study skills. And so this could be an opportunity to really help them out in a way that hopefully won't become too much of a burden for me and will keep the integrity of what this class is going to be for other sections and other instructors. So I think we're going to try that out. So we're going to try to make one nice Pear Deck slide that incorporates a number of different features of engagement and allows me to put a little bit of my personality and my take on the mathematics into the course. And then I think we're going to keep it maybe a little bit more traditional, if you will, or a guided self-study for the other 2 parts. And I'll have to think about what the workload will be, but I'm also tempted to maybe do a pruning down of the chapter text into some guided notes. We'll call these little morning coffee talks. For my total of 8 subscribers out there, really appreciate that. If you guys are interested in seeing more of these videos and kind of thinking through your own process, maybe join up with us and lend your voice down in the comments below. That'd be really cool. So with that, I'll leave you to it. Good luck in planning your own course. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll let you know how things are turning out.